Yes, good afternoon, one and all. It's Suzette Speaks Live on your radio. How you doing? Big up Young Trini for giving us that beautiful mix. We really enjoyed listening to that hot soca. It is a Fire Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It's great to see you. I want to big up everybody watching online, big up everybody watching on the apps. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you didn't know, this is Suzette Speaks Live on your radio. I come to you live every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Let me try to fix up my cameras a second. Hold on one second. My cameras, for the apps people, let me get it right. All right, I think we're looking a little bit better. Shout out to everybody watching online. Hello and welcome. It is the Suzette Speaks Show live every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Voice of the Caribbean Radio. You can find us on 92.7 FM Fort Lauderdale, 96.1 FM Hollywood. Yes, Miami, 94.3 FM. Big up everybody watching on my YouTube. I'm here trying to multitask. Y'all, please forgive me. I'm here. I don't want to move my YouTube feed because there's so much going on in the studio. Of course, we have our folks down in Jamaica getting ready for a live broadcast there. And of course, those of us who are here holding it down, we appreciate it. And we are looking forward to a fantastic show. If you're watching me on the YouTube side, big up yourself, Doug. Big up all of the people that have been supporting since day one. If you don't know who I am, welcome. Welcome. If you found us and you're enjoying your lunch and you are relaxing in your car on your way back to work or just taking a quick break, it is a beautiful Friday. We are looking at news from Vatican City. Of course, we heard of the unfortunate passing of Pope Francis this past Easter Monday, and he is scheduled to be buried coming up this tomorrow on Saturday. It'll be 4 a.m. Hear me, p.m. 4 a.m. East Coast time, and yes, it will be morning, of course, there in Rome, but we are going to keep you informed. Of course, you can follow us. The big news yesterday was the NFL draft. I watched some of it. I'm sorry, I did tune in kind of late. I wasn't paying attention to the time, but looking at the NFL draft, of course, big up University of Miami's QB, Cam Ward, again, from the University of Miami. Cam Ward only got scholarship offers from one school and ends up being the top draft pick, first draft pick in the 2025 draft. Big up him. Of course, the phenom himself, Mr. Travis Hunter. If you watch college football, you'll know all about these guys, but people work so hard their whole lives, and there are only 32 top slots. So for us here in South Florida to get the top slot for a University of Miami player, Cam Ward, the quarterback phenom, who, broke all kinds of records while he was at the University of Miami. We want to big him up and make sure we celebrate him, as well as all the other draft picks. The draft continues. Round 2 and 3 is actually continuing, and you will not get those results till I think over the weekend. People are going to be back and forth between the teams. So it's an exciting time for these young men. Time and life will be changing for them. And ultimately, hopefully, they'll be able to take care of their families and do some amazing things. Now, the top news stories that you'll see online, I was giving you a taste of it yesterday. There was some controversy. I guess it continues to be a controversy today, looking at social media. Well, we are still seeing text messages. We are still hearing about conversations being had in a very scandalous allegation, a case, I guess I will call it now, because I think she has filed a civil lawsuit. It will involve, or does involve, Hall of Famer, NFLer, amazing broadcaster, podcaster, one Mr. Shannon Sharpe, a gentleman who is known for his prowess on the football field, and again, now building an amazing career in broadcasting. Well, he has now been accused by a young lady of sexual assault, and as a result of that accusation, we are going to see, what comes out when it comes to the facts of the case. I really want to make it clear that everybody is presumed innocent in our legal system. Even though we're seeing a lot more and hearing a lot more. I did a little bit more digging yesterday based on, what is available online. And of course, Mr. Sharp, Shannon Sharp, has maintained his innocence. And there's a lot of questions more than answers. I'm looking at some of the feedback on social media. And of course, on the Suzette Speak Show, we do want to get serious and we love to talk politics. I want to talk some local politics with what is going on in Florida. We had a crazy announcement last night from the Florida State Senate, the Florida House of Representatives, and of course the Florida State Senate. This is where lawmakers gather in Tallahassee. The body that is our state legislature, these two branches make up our state legislature. And the Democratic leader for the state Senate has resigned, Pizzo. And in his resignation, I was really shocked because he's supposed to be the minority leader for all the minority, meaning the Democrats are in the minority. And he's supposed to be the leader of the Senate on the Democratic side. But he made some very damning statements yesterday, claiming that the Democratic Party in Florida is dead. That's Mr. Jason Pizzo. And in his announcement made on the Senate floor, he did a whole speech. And again, he's from Broward County and represents parts of Dade County. That's why I'm bringing it up. This is our listening area. So if you live in his district, you ought to know that State Senator Jason Pizzo has now moved from the Democratic side of the aisle to non-party affiliation. It was a huge announcement. There was a lot of feedback that came from Tallahassee because it's shocking that the leader of the party for the state Senate has now decided to declare himself non-party affiliated. So we saw this earth-shaking news out of Tallahassee yesterday. Now, we know that, again, the NFL draft is on top of people's minds. Of course, what's going on with Donald Trump. I want to update you on where we are with the student loan payback, right? They're looking to reinstate loan payments. A lot of people have not been paying the student loans. Again, the United States government has allowed or has a program that allows for people to borrow money to attend college in the form of a student loan. And I was reading somewhere that, correct me if I'm wrong, only 4 out of 10 of the loans that have been given in, the course of the Department of Education, only 4 out of 10 borrowers are actually in repayment status. Only 4 out of 10, 40% of the people are actually in repayment status. Others are in default where they have never paid, or they have been in forbearance. And again, there was a COVID forbearance that we saw under Biden, and people have been putting their loans on hold. So now we're hearing, and I want to give you the latest when it comes to the student loans, because I know that it impacts a lot of people. But before we get to student loans, I really do want to highlight this story with the Florida Democratic Party leader in the Senate that has now stepped down. Democratic Party leader Jason Pizzo, who represents parts of Miami-Dade and parts of Broward County, has now said he is stepping down from his role as Democratic Senate leader. So his words, Jason Pizzo from Broward and from Miami-Dade, that's his district, right? He was in Tallahassee when he made the announcement on the state Senate floor. And he stated, the Democratic Party is dead, Florida State Senator, Democratic leader at the time. He quits. Now he's quit. He's no longer the Democratic leader. He says he doesn't want to represent the Democrats anymore. Now I want to point out there's several people already talking about running for governor. It seemed like a far way away. 2026 will be here before you know it. And that's why when people are telling me they want to bury their heads in the sand and they want to take a pause and everybody's on break and we had our boots on the ground and all of that, Black people taking a rest, people of color, immigrants taking a rest. We tired. We did our best for Kamala. Nobody didn't vote for her, or at least people outside of the community seemed like that's not what they wanted. So this is what you get if you voted the other way. That's what a lot of people are feeling. That's not my feeling personally, but a lot of people are feeling, we tried to warn you. We told you. And instead, now here we have this chaos in the markets because of the Trump tariff policy that's going to impact goods. We just saw a warning yesterday that Home Depot, Target, and other big box stores are saying, Mr. Trump, if this actually does go into effect, sir. Store shelves are about to be empty. Listen, y'all listening live, Miami, where you at? You can call me. Live on 94.3 FM, Miami, 850-446-0562. Get you right in touch. 850-446-0562. Get you right in touch. I'm live on the YouTube side. Big up everybody who's watching on the app. Y'all, I tried to get my hair straight today. Praise God. I'm trying to do some new headshots for the radio. So if you're seeing me online, let me know if you like the straightness. Hey, we try to turn it up. The hair color is turned up. Let's go. It's summertime. Got some plans for the weekend. I don't know what y'all got planned, but please do make sure you mark your calendars. Of course, Memorial Weekend is one of the most popping weekends in South Florida. Let's go, right? There are so many big shows, so many big parties. I already got my ticket for Dandy Shandy. I didn't get my ticket for Chill. Hey, they're not advertising with us, so I'm going to take a pause, right? Hey, Bernard, that's watching online. Smooth Approach watching online. I see you, Doug. Thank you guys for watching in. The YouTube space, everybody watching on the app. If you want to bring us wherever you go to keep the vibes going, of course, download our app. The Voice of the Caribbean is an app in the App Store. And of course, if you're up in Fort Lauderdale, 92.7 is the dial. And in Hollywood, 96.1 is the dial. I wanted to give some updates on some Memorial Day weekend stuff. There's so much going on. One of the ones that we are sponsoring here at Voice of the Caribbean is a celebrity football match. Of course, for Caribbean people, you know the football is soccer. Let's go. Celebrity football match will be in full effect. That's the Memorial Day Monday. 3 exciting matches. And the lineup of the people that are on here, super exciting. I see Usain Bolt. I see Dexter Daps, Baby Sham, Mad Cobra, Wayne Wonder, Ayactane Spraga Benz, Agent Sasko, Mega Bantan Lali. Listen, they're bringing out the stars for Memorial Day. And it will be the performers versus the DJs. We call them selectors. Selectors versus the MCs and the DJs. But I'm so excited. Tony Mataran. Listen, Super Twitch is on the selector side. Gary Sweetness, DJ Reem, Champion Squad, Richie Mental. It's going to be fun. Only $30. It's going to be at the Lauderhill Sports Park. So big up everybody who's participating. I cannot wait to see those 3 celebrity matches. That is Memorial Day Monday. And you can get your tickets available. You could call or text 954-225-2722 or 305-213-9121. Ticket outlets include Donna's Restaurant, Rainbow Variety Store. Shout out to Rainbow. And, of course, the Voice of the Caribbean office right here on Broward Boulevard. So you can look us up and come by. If you want to buy tickets for the celebrity match, $30. Really exciting. And yes, I'm looking forward to Memorial Day. Shout out to everybody. Now, back to what's going on in Tallahassee, really. Because as I'm live, my group chat for some of the Democratic circles I'm in, my group chat is going crazy with this announcement. You guys, I have to understand, Broward County, Dade County, this person who was elected as a Democrat, Jason Pizzo, was elected as a Democrat to represent the people of South Florida in the Florida Senate, right? Remember, the Florida Senate has 40 people elected in districts that are evenly divided across the state. Also remember, he now says he don't want to be the leader of the Democrats in the state Senate. He has resigned. Jason Pizzo, State Senator Jason Pizzo, said he was stepping down as the Florida Senate's Democratic leader because he is quitting the Democratic Party. This is according to the newspaper called the Tallahassee Democrat. Pizzo, who represents parts of Broward and Miami-Dade counties, made the surprise announcement on the floor of the chamber yesterday, April 24th, during session. Right in front of his colleagues. Everybody was sitting at their desk in the middle of the chamber. But please know this means that he will remain a senator, but now he has changed to no party affiliation. So Jason Pizzo, one of the top Democrats, and now people are saying he's trying to run for governor, y'all. This is what it really boils down to. People are saying this is what it boils down to. Now, I want to quote what Jason Pizzo, who is now changed from Democrat to non-party affiliation. He represents parts of Miami and parts of Broward County. That's why we got to make sure we know what's going on in the elections and who we're electing, right? He has been a top Democrat. He, in fact, was the leader of the Democrats in the state Senate, and he has stepped down from his leadership role, and he has changed his party to non-party affiliation. For months, according to the Tallahassee Democrat, which is a newspaper that covers Tallahassee, duh. For months, he has teased at a run for governor next year when Ron DeSantis will be term limited. So, if you're tired of Ron DeSantis, just please know Ron DeSantis can't run anymore. He has done his 2 terms. He is term limited, so he will not be able to run. So everybody's now throwing their names in the hat for governor because there'll be an open seat, right? Ron DeSantis cannot run again for governor. So Jason Pizzo, who again represents parts of Miami-Dade and parts of Broward County, was the top dog, the top senator on the Democrat side, leader of the Democrats in the state Senate, and has decided, he's saying now the Democratic Party is dead. Let me quote what's happening so you understand. So upon Jason Pizzo, State Senator Jason Pizzo's announcement stating that he is no longer going to be the Democratic leader, he is stepping down, and now it will be former U.S. House of Representative, and I know his name, he's from Tampa, Pinellas County, David Jolly, will be stepping up to also move forward for a run for governor. So they're jockeying there. David Jolly from Pinellas County wants to run for governor. So does Jason Pizzo from Broward County and Dade County. It also comes as legislative leadership said that they were unable to agree on a state budget, which is the only order of business according to the state's constitution. When the state House of Representatives, which is 120 members in evenly distributed districts across Florida, state Senate, 40 members, every state has a House of Representative and we call it a state Senate. Some people call it assembly. Some people have other names for it, but 2 bodies, a large one and a small one. And they both have to agree. And one of the things that are in the Florida Constitution, the one thing is that we have to agree on a budget. They have not been able to agree on a budget so far in the legislative session, which lasts 60 days in Florida. So being unable to agree on the state budget allocations and large sums of money that should be going to each of the subcommittees. Right now, we don't have a current approved budget going to the governor's desk. Right now, we still have the state legislature, the House and the Senate, trying to come to an agreement on the state budget. So in his speech, Jason Pizzo compared modern partisanship to, quote unquote, the fall of Rome. He says the legislature's constituents are craving practical leaders, not political hacks. Here's what he said. Jason Pizzo, who just changed from Democrat to non-party affiliation, who represents parts of Miami-Dade and parts of Broward County, stated, and I quote, "Here's the issue. The Democratic Party in Florida is dead." Now, do you agree with Jason Pizzo? Is that true? This is the state Senate leader for the Democrats who stepped down yesterday to change his party from Democrat to non-party affiliation. He was quoted on the Senate floor stating that, according to him, here's the issue, the Democratic Party is dead, and I quote. He also told fellow senators, there are good people who can resuscitate it, but they don't want it to be me. But he added, quote, he will continue to fight incredibly hard for those in the state of Florida. I am not in this position because of Democrats, he said. I got elected because of NPAs, nonpartisan or non-party affiliated voters. The 3.7 million people who have no party, who have no representation. So stripping myself of a title, of a party designation, allows me to run free and clear, clean and transparent, and help many, many more. Those are the words of Jason Pizzo, the former Democratic leader in the Florida the Florida Senate, the Florida State Senate, stepping down. Now, Pizzo is now the third sitting Florida lawmaker to leave the Democratic Party in the last 6 months. I was about to say he's not the first. So Jason Pizzo from South Florida, who represents in the state Senate parts of Miami-Dade, parts of Broward County, has stepped down from the Democratic Party, going to non-party affiliate. And he's now following state rep Susan Valdez of Tampa and Hillary Cassell of Dania Beach, who became Republicans. Think about this, y'all. What's happening here? So this is a reminder, just a reminder that Florida law requires that anyone who wants to run for office of a different party must switch parties at least one full year prior to qualifying. And remember, to qualify to be the governor, the qualifying deadline is June of next year. It's really interesting to see this happen. Chairwoman, and I got to take a quick break. Chairwoman Nikki Fried of the Florida Democratic Party responded slamming Pizzo as one of the most ineffective and unpopular Democratic leaders in recent memory. Okay, tell me how you really feel. Nikki Fried, the chairman of the Florida Democrats, said, quote, his resignation is one of the best things to happen to the party in years, unquote. That's what she said in the statement. Nikki Fried continues, his legacy as a leader includes continually disparaging the party base, starting fights with other members, and chasing his own personal ambitions at the expense of democratic values. Do you agree? I got to take a quick pause for the cause. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is Suzette Speak Show Live. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show right after this.
The Voice of the Caribbean. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and YouTube.
This is Mikey Mike from the Voice of the Caribbean.
Hey guys,
for over the
thank
last
you so much for
30 years,
tuning in.
personal
I'm
injury
going to go
lawyers
live on
have been
Facebook,
helping the
so I'll
Florida
see you
class
over there,
with
okay?
personal
Appreciate
injury,
you
workers'
watching. Have a great
compensation,
weekend.
medical malpractice, negligence, security, wrongful death, and sexual abuse cases. We know